All right, when you first get your pattern pieces out, you might be a little overwhelmed with all of the options that you have. So let's go ahead and go through these one at a time. The first piece we're going to be looking at is our front panel piece. And this comes in 3 different cut lengths that I will be showing you here. The first one we have is our tunic length, which you will cut all the way to the bottom for. If you want the jacket length, you will cut at this line. And then for something really fun, go ahead and cut the cropped length right here. So all 3 use a band. If you don't want a band, add about 3 or 4 inches and then go ahead and hem it as you wish. Now the next option we're going to look at is your sleeves. So if you want to do a sleeved version of the Babe hoodie, then go ahead and cut on this outside line here all the way around. If you want to do a sleeveless version, then cut on this inside line here. Now the best way to mark this is to use some tracing paper so that you don't damage your pattern, but you can also cut it out if you want to just do it that way. Some people I've heard use their pins and just make these little pin pricks all the way down, and then they dust it with some cornstarch or baby powder, and it leaves a nice easy pattern to go ahead and trace through. So that is going to be your sleeve options. And the next option I want to show you correlates to whether we will be doing a zipper or a pullover. If you want to do a zipper version, then go ahead and cut on this outside line 2 pieces that are mirrored. Okay, so we're going to cut all the way around the entire piece here on this outside line. None of it is going to be on the fold, just all 2 separate mirrored pieces. If you want to do a pullover version though, then we're going to go ahead and cut 1 piece on the fold at this line. So align this with the fold of your fabric to get the pullover option. Next, let's go ahead and look at some pocket options. Now the first pocket option we'll be looking at is the scoop pocket. These are our placement markers, and what you're going to do is, whether you are using a tunic length or a jacket, you're going to mark these on your fabric so that you can see exactly where they need to be placed on the bodice when you go to sew them on. Next, we have our welt pocket, and this is where the marking is on the pattern. I cut mine out, but if you want to use tracing paper, you can do that or use the pin pricking method. But either way, just make sure that you have this marked so that you know where to align your pockets when it's time to go ahead and add them. And finally, we have our kangaroo pocket. Now, if you're doing the jacket length, you're just going to align the bottom of the pocket with the bottom of the jacket before you put on your band. If you're doing the tunic length though, you will align your finished pocket on this line here, and that's going to keep it from being too low on your bodice to put your hands in. And before I put this away, I forgot there's one more thing to show you, and these are the height adjustment marks. Now, if you look in the instructions for the pattern, that is going to tell you exactly how to adjust this for height, but these are the 2 markings that the pattern is referring to when you look at those. Next up, let's go ahead and take a look at the back bodice piece, and this is very similar to our front bodice piece, except for we will just be doing a fold line. Whether you are doing the zip up or the pullover, all of it's going to be on the fold, just 1 piece cut out with it flush against that side there. And we also have the height adjustment marks and the 3 cut lengths, just like the front panel piece. And then finally, our sleeve options, the outside for the sleeved and the inside line for the sleeveless. Next, let's go ahead and take a look at our sleeve options. We have a ton of options for sleeves here, which is awesome. Now the first one I want to show you is the long sleeve 1-inch hem. You're going to go ahead and cut your piece all the way around to the bottom, curl it under, and then top stitch it to hem the sleeve. Then we have the long sleeve cuff. The cuff dimensions are in the pattern instructions. And then we have a 3/4 length 1-inch hem, just like our long sleeve. It has this notch to make it easier to tuck it under and go ahead and hem it over top. A 3/4 length cuff, and then a short sleeved option. Now the short sleeved option comes out a bit more to make it fit nicer. If you want to move this out of the way when you're doing other options, I just like to fold it over really easy. Then you can just cut around it and then still have it available for when you want a short sleeved hoodie. And for any of these options, you will be cutting 2 on the fold line here, 1 for each arm, as you can imagine. Next, I want to start looking at our pockets. So first, I'm going to show you the welt pocket pieces. So we have the welt pocket piece itself and then the welt. So the welt pocket piece is going to be the part where you actually fit your hands inside of your hoodie, and we're going to do 4 mirrored. So 2 mirrored for our main fabric and 2 mirrored pieces for our lining. And on the main fabric piece, we are going to make this marking here on both mirrored pieces. And this is going to tell us where we're going to align it to our front bodice piece when it's time. And for the welt piece, go ahead and pick a fun coordinating fabric, because this is going to show up on the front and you will want 2 pieces cut all the way around. Next, let's go ahead and look at our hood pieces. So these are the hood side panel pieces, and then we will also have the hood center piece. This is a 3-piece hood for this pattern here. So we will have 2 of our side panel pieces and 1 of our hood pieces. And this is going to be the center piece for the hood. So since it's the 3-piece, we've got this one right in the center, and then our side panels will go on the sides of this center piece. You'll notice the center piece has a notch here. Please don't forget to cut that out. That is going to help you align it perfectly to the back center of your back panel piece right here. So when you go to construct your garment, they will align perfectly and you will get it nice and centered every single time. So for the center piece, you're going to have 1 in the main fabric and 1 in your lining fabric. Your side panel pieces, they are kind of off center, so you're going to use the grain line and greatest stretch markings to determine exactly how you want the stretch to be going for the bottom of the hood. And you're going to be cutting 2 mirror in your main fabric and 2 in your lining. So 1, 2 in your main and 1, 2 in your lining fabric. Now the side panel pieces also have 2 different cut lines depending on whether you are doing a zip up or a pullover. So if you're doing the zip up, do 2 mirrored pieces of this with this notch cut out right here. And if you're doing the pullover, go ahead and fold it over and then just cut your 2 mirror pieces along that line without this notch here. And finally, this little marking here is going to help you place your either buttonhole or grommet if you are going to be doing a drawstring. The next pocket I want to show you is our scoop pocket. So this is the simplest pocket, great for beginners. We have 2 different cut lines here. This one will be for the jacket and the bottom for the tunic length, and you will be cutting 2 of these scoop pocket pieces. And finally, we have our kangaroo pocket. Now this is formatted very similarly to our front panel piece. We have 2 markings on the inside here, depending on whether you are doing a zipper or a pullover. Go ahead and do 2 mirrored pieces cutting all the way out to the edge here if you're going to be doing the zip up version. However, if you're doing the pullover version, then use this fold line here to align it with your fold of your fabric. And you will just be cutting 1 of those for the pullover option. And lastly, we have our zipper facing. Now I love the zipper facing because it gives the hoodie a really professional looking finish to it. Where this is going to go is behind our zipper so that it makes a nice clean backside to our zipper. You will just be cutting 1 all the way around, and I have markings here that correspond to the length of the jacket that you are cutting. When you come up here, you're going to see a couple markings. First, this is the alignment marks to note where to place your zipper, and then the stitch markings at the top. So those are all of your pattern pieces, and go ahead on back to the blog and let's start sewing.